So in this setup, we're going to be looking at a two-man hold towards the boost position. So it starts off with a pop flash into A main just to make sure it's clear so that they can do the boost. Just a simple pop flash like so. And then Body will come back and then jump on top of Shox's head whilst he's still covering them by watching the doorway into A main with his AWP. So as you can see, Body's on top of the box here, and then Shox is inside watching A main. And yeah, Body's looking towards the highway position. So that's the setup for the CTs, and then we'll jump in game to have a look at how this works. So now we're in game, we're going to take a look at how this setup works for the CT side. So as we saw before, we saw Shock was in this corner here, holding this angle, and then we had Body up on top of the box, looking towards highway. So we'll go over what's good and bad about this strat, or this setup. So the good thing is it's very strong against an A main push and a squeak sort of push, because with Shocks in this position, he can watch for anyone who's trying to initially push in towards A main, and he can get the information that it's happening, and then they can instantly just fall back and get a free kill, since obviously Shocks will be with an AWP, and you can rely on him to get the one kill, and then he can fall back. You can even keep Body up there. As in game, Semler was saying that a T player or the T teams who are moving in through for A main, once they get killed by Shocks here, their focus is going to be where's Shocks going next. So he's run back, he's taking the shot, he's running back. Where is he going to be in the site? Is he going to be here? Is he going to be behind quad? So any player that's coming up isn't going to expect another player going to be towards this area and Body being up on top of here, since yeah, they're going to be focusing here, worrying about this area. So hopefully they should skip the position that Body's at. It's also quite good if they come through Squeak as well, because Body can just use an incendiary, just chuck one down here, so that if they want to push, it's very difficult to do so. So the weakness against this strat is a push-up highway, so sort of like an A split almost, but like a sort of a delayed one from A main. So it has to be a very precise sort of push, so they have to come up highway and then push through main so that Shox doesn't get a kill or spot anyone whilst they're setting up for this. The reason for this is because Body's in the open, obviously, so you'll see in the round that he lost, it was the next round that they did the strat. I think it was Crims just pushed up highway and they just won the fight against Body because he just didn't have anywhere to fall back or any cover. And once you get that, Shox is just going to be on his own here, and in that round he was stuck between players coming from A main and coming up highway. So that's the weakness against this. But the way to make sure that that doesn't happen is by getting early mid presence. So the problem with it is that Scream was in the connector area here, the Z connector, and he wasn't able to stop a highway push. So it may have been a good idea to actually come down this way and maybe have 3 on the A site and 2 on the B site, and sort of just play this sort of spot here to make sure they can't push highway. Because he was so defensive back here, trying to make sure they didn't push through Z connector and go behind the B players, it meant that Body was in the open, and ultimately they lost that round because of it. So on reflection, one way that they could have actually won this round where Fnatic pushed up mid is that when they realised that once they were in this position and they knew Fnatic had mid and there was the potential to push up highway because Scream didn't have the positioning in Z connector or mid to make sure that he could stop them from doing that, they should have just abandoned this setup, because there's no point just risking them pushing up highway when Scream has no information. It's best to just fall back towards the site, accept that you can't get the free kill on the setup, and just try and set up in a more defensive position and have someone looking towards highway and then someone looking towards A main, and then perhaps the guy that's on site can look highway and then squeak as well, so that you can hold the site in a more default way. And then the thing is that you haven't shown that card of this setup. You haven't shown that this is a setup that you have because you haven't fired a shot. So you can just do it in the next round. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video on this unique setup on Cash. If you enjoyed the video, perhaps leave a like. If you want to see more in the future, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.